The Extreme Makeover Home Edition is a weekly show on ABC television that basically brings the community together to work with a needy family and give them a house in the period of 7 days. This particular episode focused on the Walker family who lives in Springfield, Massachusetts. Their 11-year-old son committed suicide on the 3rd floor of their home. He was a victim of bullying. So because of this tragedy, Carl's mom, Sardina, decided to take charge, and she started a foundation to fight bullying. She was involved at the local, state, and federal level, rallying for anti-bullying laws, and she was successful in getting some of those passed. Sardina also gives speaking engagements designed to educate people about the dangers of bullying and just different avenues for help, different resources if somebody's child is being bullied. Extreme Makeover Home Edition gets involved not only to provide an entertaining show, but also to raise awareness and involve the community in a healing process. Because the suicide took place on the 3rd floor of the home, the family couldn't bear to use much of the home. That rendered them crowded into the lower level of the home. The home was an older home, almost 100 years old, and was in poor repair. And so because of the emotional issues and also the physical condition of the home, it really made it difficult for them to live inside that home. The construction of a normal home may take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. Because this project was condensed into a 7-day period, certain phases of the project had to be accelerated. Particularly the phase that we were selected for, and that is our specialty, was the dry down phase. Normally the equipment we used for this project would be used to dry out a flooded house. In this case, we used the same equipment to draw the moisture out of the taping compound and the paint to speed up that part of the process. We were tasked to get this down to, we had a 14-hour window to complete something that normally occurs in a week's time. One of the key pieces of equipment we brought up was a trailer-mounted desiccant dehumidifier, and that was driven by an industrial-size generator. We also brought up industrial low-grain refrigerant dehumidifiers and air movers packed into a box truck, and then a crew of 8 to support and monitor the process while it was ongoing. Because there were 3 levels of this house, in addition to the uncontrolled environment, we elected to bring in the desiccant dehumidifier, which really and essentially puts out really dry air. It'll put the relative humidity down into the single digits. We assisted this process with the portable low-grain refrigerant dehumidifiers. And then we also assisted both of those with air movers to circulate the dry air within the room. All while this is going on, we had technicians at least 2 to 3 times an hour monitoring the moisture levels of different parts of the house to determine where additional dehumidification was needed, perhaps where we could take resources from one room and move them to another.
Drywallers weren't too happy with us, but we got it pumping up to about 90, 95 degrees in there. Everything is drying way ahead of schedule. I'm thinking about another couple hours we'll be able to pull our equipment and they'll be ready to start painting. Other than that, everything's going really smooth. We got a bunch of guys from the office here helping out. Everybody's really pulling their weight, doing a good job, excited, running around, sweating, and having a good time. We're happy to be here and honored to help out.
It's amazing to see a group of 400 to 600 professionals come together to make something like this happen. And it's through the subs, like American Integrity Restoration, who's come in and made sure that all of our 80 drywallers that are hanging and taping in a matter of 14 hours get in and out ahead of schedule. Because you can imagine on a build of this nature, it's a roller coaster ride. We're ahead of schedule, we're behind schedule, we're ahead of schedule, behind schedule. With AIR's help, they put us back ahead of schedule. So as you see behind us, we got some siding going on. The exterior, we got landscapers coming in, and we got another 2 days to go. So we thank them so much for being here and helping us out.
When we finished our part of the project, there were 2 more days left in the build and a lot more work to be done. So it was particularly rewarding to come back for the final reveal and see Serdina and her family's reaction to their new home.
I can't really explain to you how incredibly happy I am. And you know, I tell people one of the things I've shared with folks was, you know, over the past 2 years, I never thought I would have that sense of being happy again. And you know, to see, you know, this beautiful home and to see my children's faces and my mom's face, my sister's face, and to see the amount of love, you know, from the volunteers, to see, you know, the commitment from Nick, the builder, and just all the volunteers. It's just overwhelming. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling to know that people really do care. You know, they've heard of our story and they just said, you know what, you know, we just want to help out. You know, people we didn't even know.